coin.
So here's what we got, y'all. Even though the personality that is about to come on the screen is big and funny and love it, full of life, he is also one of the most respected, knowledgeable, and just all around movers in the numismatic community. Mr. Brad Karoleff. Mr. Karoleff, can you introduce yourself? I know you had a coin.
You just did. Hi, I'm Brad Karoleff.
Yeah, but can you give a little bit about your background?
My background. I started collecting when I was 5 with some Whitman folders my parents got me.
Nice.
Hung around the coin shop so much that when I got the driver's license, they gave me a job.
Oh.
And then a few years later, the owners retired. I bought in as a partner. And so when I see people from high school from many, 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 many years ago, and they say, "What are you doing now?" I say, "Well, it's the same thing as last time you saw me. I'm still working at the coin store."
And you still have that coin store to this day?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that location's closed, but it's the same. The same group.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been dealing in Cincinnati since 1975.
Wow, I was born in 1973.
Really, you look a lot older.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been working on keep my health a lot younger. You say I look older?
It's not working.
It's not working?
No.
I'll work on it.
Yeah.
Well,
you're right. I'm looking there. It does add 15.
It does. It adds 50 pounds. Look how much fatter you look.
Oh, I look thin. Now you look 30 pounds now.
Oh, I
gave you my.
Isn't he such a giving individual? He gave me the
Speaking of giving individual.
So I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Yeah. We gotta get into it.
Okay.
You had a coin club meeting on Friday night.
We did. Yes, we did.
Yes.
We have a coin club meeting here in Cincinnati on the second Friday of every month.
And
if you're traveling through the area, you're welcome to visit.
And what's the coin club's name?
Cincinnati Numismatic Association. They own the show.
They own the show.
They put the show on. So yes, it's all part of it.
They're doing a great job.
Oh, this is fantastic. This is the best show ever here.
Yeah.
Ever.
They have really gone out with some of the presentations.
The amount of business on the floor.
Floor's popping.
If you're at home and you were thinking about coming here and didn't, you made a big mistake.
Come on down.
You
can make it. You still got a couple hours.
It's getting a little late.
It is
but
getting a little late.
Next year, same weekend.
Yep. Next year, every year at this time, I think the last weekend in July or second to last weekend in July, it all depends on how it works out on the calendar. This show goes on, and I've been coming for the last 3 or 4, or maybe 5. No, 3 or 4. And Mr. Karoleff has been coming for how long?
I know. How long has the show been?
40.
Then it's been almost 40 years.
Wow. Have you never missed?
I missed a couple for other commitments, but
other coin shows.
Yeah.
So we know that the Pittsburgh A&A is coming up. Are you going to go to that?
Absolutely. Yes.
What draws you to that?
Well, John Wright Collector Society. We have our annual meeting there.
Really?
I'm the president.
Really?
Yes. Really.
What is the John Wright?
Well, it's an organization of numismatists that collect silver and gold coins from the first U.S. mint by die marriage.
Wow.
So I've been president, editor of the journal for quite a while. And our national meeting is Wednesday morning there. And of course, the A&A, I wouldn't miss for, almost anything. I've gone to every one since 1984.
Wow.
Except for 89, because my daughter decided she was going to come about the same time that I would have been at the convention, so I stayed home.
Okay.
But
that's a good enough excuse.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you say that, because I will be seeing you today. I have a couple holes in my typeset that I need to fill, so I will be seeing you. Be gentle. I actually got to have dinner with Mr. Karoleff on Thursday night. It was an amazing dinner and funny. We won't get into the details, but what I wanted to bring him out here for, to expose you guys to, it's just the wealth of knowledge. He's going to have us showcase a couple coins. I will put them on the camera while he does the description of what I'm showcasing.
What would you like to go for?
We'll go first one here.
So everybody says, what did you get at the show that was neat? And this is one of the neat things I got at the show. This is a silver 1964 Washington quarter that was struck on a dime blank.
Wow.
So you can see that it's not round.
Well,
you know why it's not round?
Is that something to do with the feeder?
Nope.
I don't know why.
You don't know why?
No.
You don't know why?
I don't know why.
Okay. Well, if it was a quarter-size planchet, it would completely fill the collar.
Right.
But it was a dime-size planchet. So there was a lot of slop room around the collar.
So got messed around.
So when it was struck, the planchet was able to expand without constriction.
Really?
So that's what it looks like. It looks kind of oval.
So this is a 1964 Washington quarter stuck on a dime planchet, and you picked this up at the show.
Yes. Well, one of my longtime customers and friends came up and sold me a few pieces, and this was my favorite one that he sold me. He also sold me a $50 on a quarter planchet.
What is your estimate? Because I don't care what PCGS price guide. I don't care what eBay sales.
This is about $1,000.
$1,000
retail.
Good. In case you notice, guys, girls, I don't care about eBay price sold listings. I don't care about PCGS price guides. I care about when 3 people tell me what a coin is worth. This man, Mr. Lawson, or Daniel Malone. So I wanted to ask him that because you can probably look at.
Well, but of course it's my coin, so I'm going to be optimistic.
That's true. That's true. All right. Next we have a 1846 DeLonga bit.
DeLonga, yes.
Wow.
It's from Georgia.
Okay.
And
wow. So the DeLonga, can you tell a little bit of the history of the DeLonga bit?
Not really.
Okay, I can help.
It was built because of the little bit of gold that they were finding in the Appalachians, along with Charlotte.
Yep.
So it was a chance to mint local gold close by. Now, I don't know if you can see from the image that you're getting at home, but DeLonga and Charlotte gold has a bit of a green tint to it. In contrast, gold from San Francisco, from the California gold rush, is very yellow.
Right.
So if you have a DeLonga and or a Charlotte coin that is bright yellow, it's probably been chemically processed.
Really?
But if it's got this little kind of greenish, deep golden tint to it, it's probably original surfaces. That's what I love about this coin so much. The surfaces are virgin. They haven't been messed with. Nobody's tried to make this 61 coin look like a 63. It's just the way it's been for the last 200 years.
So a little bit of story about the DeLonga. It first of all, it burnt down. And the story goes that a bunch of high school kids were down in the basement smoking cigarettes. And that's why the DeLonga mint burnt down the first time, just because kids were smoking in the basement. So that's pretty amazing. But then they rebuilt the mint, but then the mint got shut down because of the Civil War.
Is that where Alice Cooper got the idea of smoking in the boys' room?
No, that'd be Motley Crue.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Motley Crue got that idea. Yeah, I'm sure. I'll bet you $10.
Oh, you're too
confident.
Too confident.
Yeah. Anybody want to verify in the chat? Get $10 off the coin I'm going to buy later. But yeah, so the DeLonga mint got shut down because of the Civil War and because of kids smoking in the basement. You were here last year, yes?
Yes.
Do you remember the presentation?
I was working.
Oh,
I'm not allowed to go to presentations because I have to work.
Last year, a gentleman from the gentleman had an entire collection of the gold pieces that were ever produced from the DeLonga mint.
Wow.
It was
very impressive.
Oh, took my breath away. I can't use any words to describe.
I have a complete subset of DeLonga.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Liberty seated $5. Liberty had $5 gold pieces with obverse mint marks.
I would love to see that.
It's a complete collection of one. They only did it in 1839.
Right. Your next coin, what do we have here?
Sure. Okay.
Tell us about this.
Another thing that I do is I collect cobs.
Cobs. And what's a cob?
you got it in your hand there.
Cool.
It's silver coin. It's a colonial, Spanish colonial piece.
Okay.
This is one from Mexico.
Mhm.
They were made throughout colonial Spain and Mexico, Central and South America.
Okay.
And they were the trade coins of the era. So they would make the coins and then ship them back to Spain, where they would melt down and remake them into better coins. But this is a shipwreck recovery piece from, I can't remember the Spice Island shipwreck. So it was a shipwreck that I didn't have in my collection, and there's many of them. But so I collect those because those are the grandfathers of the bus coins that I originally started collecting.
Very cool.
So the Philadelphia Mint would melt down coins like this to make our coins.
And supposedly, if you took all the gold and silver that was lost at sea, supposedly that dollar amount is astronomical.
It is astronomical. But I mean, if you look at the mintage figures for Potosi, which is Peru back then, Bolivia today, they were tremendous. It was the richest silver mine ever discovered in the world. And with the silver that they mined out of that mountain, you could have built a bridge from South America to Europe.
Wow, that's a lot of silver.
That's a lot of silver.
Wow. What's the next coin you got here?
Well, it's a bust dollar.
Wow.
It's a 1799 over 98 bust dollar. The overdate is not extremely visible. They did a good job at covering it up, but so they had a die left over that was dated the wrong year. They punched the new year over the top of it and used it because a die was a very expensive piece of the mint's inventory. It took a lot of man hours to produce the die. So they didn't give them up easily. And that's why you see so many early coins with huge die breaks on them and even cuts. They used them until literally they couldn't anymore in most cases.
Wow.
So
this is one area of my coin collecting that I'm sorely lacking is I call it the constitutional area, and I don't think
okay.
I don't think
well, it's just the first U.S. mint.
Right.
So the first U.S. mint, the dies were handmade.
Wow.
And each one is slightly different. So if you find the differences in those dies, you can identify them. And then every time that an obverse and a reverse die came together and they made coins, that's called a marriage. And after producing coins for a while, maybe the reverse die needed work or became bad, and they would take that out and replace it. And then that would be a new marriage. So
it's just incredible.
I'm working on a book right now.
You're writing a book?
Yes.
Wow.
Dave Perkins and I, he's probably the world's foremost expert on bust dollars. He and I are working on a new variety attribution guide for the bust dollars because the current ones are not what we would call first rate. And this is the beta edition of some of our first work. So this is how you will identify your die marriage. It has a picture and then information about each die. Dave's going to put some notes about each marriage. And then the facing page is going to be close-up photographs of that coin pointing out the attribution points. So even if you can't read like Robert, you can actually attribute your coin just by looking at the picture.
When do you anticipate this book coming out?
Well, an author once taught me you never tell anybody when the book's coming out because you'll never get it out in time.
When it does come out, can I get a signed copy?
Sure. It'll be $1,500, please.
$1,500 for that book. Is that my price?
That's your price.
That's my price.
Yes.
So hopefully you and the coin op
prices for other people will be much less.
Okay, I was going to say hopefully you and all in the coin op community will at least get to get it at a heck of a discount because I just got told $1,500. That's a lot for.
I don't know. We'll have to see what production costs are. I would imagine that a book like we're talking about is going to be $125 to $50.
But it's got so much knowledge.
It'll be totally color pictures, lots of close-ups, quick attribution guide. Well, I'd like to think it's going to be worth the money, but we'll let the consumer tell us that.
Absolutely. Got some currency, I see.
Currency, yes. We've had a very big show in buying currency
Mhm.
at our table. I've had a number of collectors come up and sell me some things. This is one of my favorite notes. It's a $2 note from 1899.
1899.
And it's a silver certificate. And it's just a lovely note. I love the design.
The artistry back then,
Magnificent.
that they put into our currency.
Oh, if you want to see real artistry, the next note will blow you away.
This note, I saw this at a table.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the same one. I'm pretty sure it probably is.
No, a collector came up and sold me this.
This note blew me away.
Yes, and it's one of.
Let me finish showing this one.
Yeah.
Let me finish showing this one. This is a beautiful note. Now, Mr. Karoleff, can you talk to us about core currency grading when it says 58 ppq? What is that? So here it is.
Well, a 58 is the grade and the quality of the paper and the note. So that one will be nicer than your average 58.
Gotcha.
I tell people all the time, if coin grading confounds you, try
currency grading. Yeah. So this is amazing. When I was live with you all yesterday, I told you I saw a dollar bill from 1896 in the show. One dealer had it, and the artwork on it took my breath away. I cannot describe this any more than just to show it to you. The stunning.
Okay, this is called an educational note, and it gets the name because it's Liberty educating the youth of America there.
Wow.
So allegorical figures. And
I'll put this underneath.
Yes, because look at the border. Look at all of the famous people that are in the wreath around the border.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
Lincoln, Irving, Cooper, Sherman.
If you spend some time with an old and actually look at it,
I didn't know this was on there. Grant, Emerson,
Lake and Palmer are all there.
He is.
Or was that Ralph Waldo?
I did not.
That's probably Ralph Waldo.
When I saw this bill yesterday, Washington, Jefferson, Adams. Oh my God. Jackson, Clay, Franklin, Hamilton, Perry, Marshall.
Now, some of these people are famous even to today, but a couple of them are where you go, who is that? So it's an education chance. You can go back and kind of look and here, just down, just right.
Yep.
Right there. What's that?
Is that, I'm imagining the Declaration, or
is it the Declaration or the Constitution?
Oh, that's the Constitution.
There we go.
Yep, that's the Constitution. You can see the words Constitution right there.
And
there's the city of
Washington in the background.
Potomac River, Washington Monument. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely.
But there's a surprise on the back.
Really? We have what? Is that Mary Washington?
Well, it might be Martha.
Martha, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Martha. Who's Mary Washington?
I have no idea.
I didn't know they ever put her on any kind of currency or coinage, except for the commemorative, obviously. I remember that.
But she's actually on a couple of different notes. She's on the front of a note of a $1 bill.
You know that? I don't know much about currency, but I'm just in awe of this bill. This bill.
The educational series, there's a 1, a 2, and a 5, and it's generally considered our most beautiful paper currency. It's absolutely an amazing set, and the 1 is scarce, the 2 is rare, and the 5 is extremely rare. But if get a chance, go online, look up some notes of this series, and see how beautiful they are. And
this is
read about the allegorical symbolization that are on the notes.
Sir, thank you so much for showing this to us. This is just an amazing.
It's just one of my favorites. You know, I didn't I didn't have
How much is this worth?
this note would sell for around $1,000.
Wow.
I had a $2 yesterday that I sold that wasn't in as nice a condition, and I haven't had a 5 in ages. They're really tough to get, especially nice. But do yourself a favor, look them up.
I will. So, all kidding aside, because Mr. Karoleff does like to joke around a lot. Like I told you, he's got a big personality, and he's so much fun. But all joking aside, every time I talk to him about numismatics or our history or our money, he blows me away with his knowledge and his expertise. And to know that he's actually writing a book, that means it's going to have to be a must-have in my library.
You don't have one of the other books that I've written?
How many books have you written?
Well, I've co-authored just a couple.
A couple?
And edited a half a dozen.
Do you have any of those with you?
Actually, I don't, but I do have them at the shop.
Yeah. So maybe, I will be here until tomorrow morning. It's 5:30 in the morning when I go.
Well, it's not happening.
Yeah. I'm definitely interested to know more about them. So we have been blessed by one of the true just movers of the industry. I do have a couple of nominal questions for you.
No, go right ahead. And if you have any questions at home, type them in.
Type them in the chat.
We'll be happy to try to answer them for you.
So for somebody that's just getting into numismatics and coin collecting, because we have 2 new subscribers today.
Okay.
Welcome. And they were asking questions and this, that, whatever. What is the best advice you could give to somebody new to our hobby, just starting out?
That advice would be different whether you are a youngster getting started or a young adult or an established adult.
Let's go with young adult.
Young adult. Before you start spending serious money, learn things. Learn things by reading and talking to people in the hobby. Formulate a plan and follow it. Don't be in a rush. There are so many people that come into the hobby that we call comets. They come in and they spend, and then they disappear because they overspend on the wrong kind of things. So think of numismatics as a triathlon, not
just a marathon. Yeah.
Yes, triathlon. It's something I started when I was 5. Okay, almost 60 years ago. I've been collecting for almost 60 years.
Wow.
This is a lifelong passion, and it has sustained me. It has saved me from many mistakes. A lot of people I grew up with, let's just say, didn't end up with as easy a life as I've had. So it's a pathway to a lifetime of enjoyment. But in order to do that right, you can't spend all of your money in the first 6 months.
Yep.
Go slow.
Go slow. Buy
Things that match for your sets. That's part of having your plan. Sit down with a dealer that you're comfortable with, and you may have to interview a few to find somebody you're comfortable with. But have them work on a plan with you that fits your budget and your goals and objectives, and stay within that. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't wander outside of that every now and then, but you have to have focus. So in 1978, I began collecting cap bust half dollars by dime marriage. And that has been my main focus in my collecting life. And there are 450 dime marriages in the series if you don't count the 3 crushed lettered edge proofs. And since 1978, I've accumulated 445 of those 450.
Wow.
Well, at some point, it got hard for me to buy coin, half dollars, so then I expanded into half dimes. And then the half dime set got nearly complete, and then I decided, well, I'm going to do dimes and quarters. And now I'm buying a few dollars, but they're all related. I have other collections. I have collections of cobs, and then I have things that intrigue me. I have a box of things that I buy that have stories with them. So I can go to a school or a civic organization or a library, and I take my talk box, I pull things out of it and tell stories. And I can stand and tell stories for 2 or 3 hours about the coins in my talk box.
That transitions right to the very next question that I have to tail on that. How do we save our hobby? In your opinion, I've been telling people the last 2 days that our hobby is under assault from people dying because they're getting old. Our hobby is under assault from the newer generations, always into their video games and their phones, and also because of the central bank digital currency that's being kicked around, and we might not have coins and money anymore. How do we save our hobby?
Our hobby saves itself.
How so?
People will always like money. Okay. But beyond that, as long as there's someone interested in history, because coins are history. They're history in your hands. One thing I like to do is I'll go into a school and I'll pick a kid and I'll say, who's your favorite person in history? And they'll tell me, and then I'll hand them a coin that they could have handled. And that gives you that one-to-one exposure.
Nice.
The hobby isn't dying as much as people think it is. Attendance at shows are down because people my age are dying, or people older than I am. And the younger generation isn't coming to shows. That doesn't mean that they're not collecting. The hobby is still vibrant. It's vibrant online where people are not leaving their house to buy their coins. Now, that I think is a mistake. You can look at all the pictures you want to online, and you are at the mercy of how the person took the image of the coin. Lighting can change the look of a coin. It can hide a scratch. They can they can play with photos in Photoshop. But when you're holding a coin in your hand under a light at a show in the flesh and rotating it and seeing how the surfaces play with the light and comparing it to other coins at the show, you can come to a show like this and see thousands of coins. You can go to the ANA in 2 weeks and see tens or hundreds of thousands of coins. You can look at them for free. You can go to auction lot viewing, and you can look at magnificent collections of coins if they happen to have one for sale there, and compare those coins. So the way you really learn more about the quality of coins, the grading of coins, and the surfaces of coins is to look at a lot of coins. And you do that in hand. And you ask questions. And you find dealers that specialize in areas of coins that you specialize in or want to specialize in. You look at their wares. You talk to them about what makes a good coin and a bad coin, and have a lot of respect for a dealer that tells you no.
Interesting.
If a dealer specializes in an area of coin and you pick a coin out of the case and he goes, that might not be for you, there's a reason. Ask what the reason is and heed the advice.
Awesome.
So in the long run, the people that are at home buying them just off of the internet and not coming to shows, they're missing out. They're missing out of the camaraderie that we have. They're missing. You know what's great about it? There's a show. If you have a bad coin show, I used to go out with an older guy. We would drive to coin shows, and he would have a terrible show. And we'd get back in the car, and he goes, "Well, boys, we're going to have to eat our way out of this show." Meaning, we were stopping at a good steakhouse on the way home. We were going to
make it all better.
We were going to have some steak. We were going to have good conversation. That is as much of a coin show as the coins themselves. The people you meet. When I first started going to coin shows, I was nobody, right? I'm a beginner. And I got to talk to the luminaries. I got Jules. I don't know if any of you know the name Jules River, but Jules River was a giant in the hobby of dye marriage collection. He wrote books. He was legendary. Jules chased me down a hallway at the Baltimore 86 ANA. Old man running down the hallway, chasing me down, saying, young man, you need to join this new organization. And I got to be a charter member of the JRCS because Jules River ran me down
That's awesome.
in a hallway.
That is
I
awesome.
I was able to talk to him on a one-to-one basis and learn from him. The quarter on the dime planches, somebody said,
Ronald Harris.
What's the value there? I want $1,000 for mine. That doesn't mean that you can't buy one for less someplace or more. Errors are very
Subjective.
Thank you. Yeah, they are, because you got to look at it and how much does the coin smack you in the face?
Right.
For an error, that's important. And errors are everyone is a little different. So there can be a wide range of pricing on those. It's not like buying another 81S Morgan dollar.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you buy an 81S Morgan dollar that's got monster toning on it, yeah, there again, that's different. Toning is another thing you can't tell much from a photo online.
Awesome.
You can't see really the depth of the toning and the vibrance unless you hold it in your hand.
So I'm going to have you pick a number, sir, from 1 to 43. We're going to do a giveaway of your $5 startup. So you have to pick a number from 1 to 43.
I got to pick a number from 1 to 43.
You got to pick a number from 1 to 43. We're going to do a giveaway of your $5 startup.
Okay.
And you just tell me, or you just write it down, and I will. There we go. I got you. I got it. All right, y'all. We're going to do a giveaway of this amazing Series 1953, a red stamped star note.
So somebody just wrote in.
What they say?
But Budget Coin Hunter said always buy the coin. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great advice. But I will give you a caveat to that.
Mm-hmm.
Always buy the coin unless the holder's worth more.
Yeah.
NGC black holder.
Right.
I've
never seen an NGC black holder. What is that?
A very early generation NGC holder. The holders are worth more than the coins inside.
Wow.
They'll sell for thousands of dollars because there are people that collect the different generations of slabs. A PCGS Regency holder is worth more than the coins that generally. So always buy the coin, not the holder, unless the holder's worth more than the coin.
Sir, this has been amazing. It's always great to spend time with you, not only talking coins and stuff like that, but just your personality and your sense of humor. I always enjoy seeing you every year at the show.
And somebody who likes sushi as much as you do, I think we could probably do that again.
Somebody who likes sushi as much as you do. And maybe a little bit of sake.
No.
Just a smidge. No. We're not doing that.
You can't have just a smidge.
No.
If you,
you're going to do it. You're going to
do it right.
With the whole bottle that we shared. More to follow on that. Sir, thank you for
having me.
Don't pack up. I got to do a couple more giveaways, but don't pack up. I need to fill a hole in a type set on my dance go album, so I'm going to come see you.
Okay.
I need
to get how many hundreds do you have?
Not many. I'm gonna
that's right. You have 1,000.
I'm going to be looking for a discount. Big discount. Big.
Okay. We'll do what we can.
All right. So
thanks everybody. If you're passing through Cincinnati, stop and say hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you again for all your time, sir. We really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Brad Karoleff. Again, he's one of the big five that I respect in the community and that I trust. Yeah, big five. Joe Durbin, Robert Lawson, you, Daniel Malone. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't put it in any order.